Hello and welcome to Legal Talk, a program brought to you by the law firm of O'Donnell, Weiss & Mattei, PC. We are a full-time law firm with offices in Phoenixville and Pottstown. Our attorneys concentrate in various aspects of the law. And today's program is, for me, a very special one. It's a celebration of the 80th anniversary of Social Security. And it's from 1935 to 2015. And with us to celebrate this holiday, this event, is Tran, who is the district manager of our local Social Security office. Welcome, Ha.
Thank you.
Okay. And Edward Lafferty, who is the public affairs specialist for our region and for Social Security. And again, welcome, Ed.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, many of the viewers, or some of the viewers, I should say, probably were around when 1935 came and the Congress and the President signed Social Security into being, although I don't know how many people actually remember what it was like and why Social Security actually came into being. Can you give us, just very briefly, why did we even decide to have Social Security? What was the idea? Why?
Oh, thank you, David, for having us today to celebrate this very special occasion. Well, most of us know that the Great Depression started in the 30s. That's when everything kind of triggered the nation crisis. So then President Franklin D. Roosevelt came up with the idea that we should have a social insurance program that continue paying benefit to the retired worker. Is kind of like a social safety net. Yes. That protecting the old age Americans. So that's one thing. So finally, the President Roosevelt signed a law. The act on August 14, 1935. So that was 80 years ago, and yeah. We are here. We would like to celebrate this occasion with the American public.
Right. And
up to today, most of the beneficiaries still rely on Social Security as the primary income.
That's unfortunately that was not the way it was originally devised, but that is probably true. Yeah. And then I think that was 1935, and that was just benefits for individuals it's like a retirement fund for individuals, and it was expanded, I believe, in 39.
Yes.
And what was that in 39?
Well, the Amendment Acts of 1939. That was making Social Security benefit payment to beneficiaries' spouse, dependent, and survivor.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I guess you didn't know this one fun fact. Well, did you know that Social Security, the first monthly Social Security benefit began on January of 1940?
That's when the first payments came out.
Yes.
I guess so. It took that number of years to build up, for someone to build up that amount.
Yes.
And do you have any idea what the first payment was?
Yes, it was $22.50. It was paid to Miss Ida Mae Fuller of Vermont.
Okay.
She was a legal secretary.
Yes.
And $22.54 back then must be a lot.
And I'm sure at that time that was a lot, a whole lot.
Yes. Yeah. And then on top of that, in 1950, you're asking for changes, so I'm giving changes.
Yeah.
The 1950 amendments was the first time that we can actually increase the benefit. Okay. The reason after that, because the reason was this is to catch up with the effects of inflation,
right,
and fixed income.
So in the mid-50s, there was a dramatic change. And that was under President Eisenhower in the mid-50s. And what was that?
That had to do with disability.
Which is what I do a lot of.
Exactly. So the disability program came in when Congress decided to expand the scope of our program. So we start understanding that there are disabled workers who cannot work and cannot provide for their family. So Social Security began paying benefit to disabled workers, their dependents, and their spouse. In some cases, yes.
Well, so there have been so many changes over the years, and at this point, why is Social Security so important to the American public?
I'm glad you asked that question in that context of why it's so important, because Social Security has changed over the years. As Hal was mentioning, 1935 was beginning. The system has continually evolved because of adaptations to cultural changes, economic changes, obviously the demographics. We talk about the baby boomers today. But it basically is a social security net for literally tens of millions of people, from senior citizens to children, who basically would go below the federal poverty limit. And you've already alluded to this. It really only replaces part of wages lost due to retirement, disability, or survivors, but it's a steady stream. It's that constancy, that guarantee. Ida Mae Fuller, by the way, who got her first $22.54, lived till she was 100 years old.
Wow. And
so she received a Social Security benefit every month up until that day.
So she got her money back.
She got, and well beyond, yes.
And in 1950s, actually, she also received a 77% increase because of the COLA.
Yeah, the cost of living adjustment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's interesting. So Ed, at this point, how many people are on Social Security?
You have over 59 million people receiving benefits. Now, that's talking across a wide range, but 59 people who are on the Social Security rolls, basically, who get a monthly benefit.
And does this include the Social Security disability as well as retirement, or is that just the retirement benefits?
No, that's everyone. Basically, Social Security offers, because you've alluded to, a basic package of protection. So for retirement and disability and survivors, retirees make up the bulk of the individuals receiving benefits. But we have over 9 million disabled workers, not to mention their dependents, 4.5 million widows and widowers, 2 million children who receive survivor benefits. So all of those individuals, about 1 out of every 6 people in the country receives a Social Security benefit.
Okay. How do we calculate those benefits now?
One of those wonderful calculations no one ever likes to hear, because we use a formula across your work history, not the high 3 or high 5 or high 10, but the highest 35 years of your earnings.
So they go back, but if a person hasn't worked 35 years, they've worked 20 years or 25 years.
That's the issue. Social Security actually takes into account increases in wages across your work history, indexes them in effect in terms of today's dollar, but uses the highest 35. So, for example, if someone stayed home to raise children, not paying into Social Security, they certainly are working, but they're not paying into covered earnings, earnings on which they're taxed, they might only have 15, 20, 25 years of a work history that is paying into Social Security. For purposes of Social Security, it's always the highest 35 years, and if some of those are zero or very low earnings, they're all in.
Yes. Down.
Now, the other way is, well, I'll ask you, are you going to work until you're 100?
What? That's a good question.
If you choose to do that, and your earnings were high enough to replace one of the earlier years, the system keeps increasing your benefits, so potentially it can go up. Depends on how much you're earning, how many years you paid into the system.
That's interesting. So it's really not, even if you started taking benefits at your full retirement age, which for me would be 66 for the vast majority of people, or it would be 66 or 67. Actually, it could go up because your earnings, if you earned after that.
Exactly.
You could. Interesting. There's a graphic that we have that I would like them to put up on the screen right now, and it tells, it's a very simple one. It's from your offices. It says if a person would have benefits of $1,000 at full retirement age, 66, what if they took early retirement? And it breaks it down. It starts with early people sometimes retire at 62. but that person who should get 1,000 would only get 750. But then again, and 1,000 at 66. But if they waited till they were 70, which you must start taking benefits then, it's $1,320. So it's a very interesting graphic. And Ed, do you want to comment a little further on that? Or?
Yes, it offers a range. And this goes back to your entire point about Social Security evolving and changing. Social Security, in fact, if you receive benefits prior to your full retirement age, reduces your benefit. And as the graphic shows, depending on how far back, the earliest you can start for benefits is 62. If you go on at 63, 64, 64 and a half, the reduction's not as great, but it's a permanent reduction. It doesn't ratchet up when you turn full retirement age. If, on the other hand, you delay beyond your full retirement age, remember, there are people who born 60 and later, their full retirement age is 67. But if you delay applying for benefits, receiving a benefit from Social Security, you can get what are called delayed retirement credits. And so up to 8% per year, up to age 70. At 70, there's no gain. So you have a range in that area from
so you must
62
take it,
to that.
You must take it at age 70.
Well, no one will hunt you down if you don't take it, but it doesn't. we won't look for you,
okay.
But it isn't worth your while generally to wait.
Okay, all right. That's thank you for the graphic on that. Who pays into Social Security?
Almost everyone. We're hitting 95, 96, 97% of all workers pay into Social Security. Something like 165, 168 million workers and their families are covered by Social Security. And covering means, obviously, you pay Social Security taxes.
Okay, and just for you, Ed, one last question now is, are there's some, I know, hot topics in Social Security right now, and would you like to give us this is your area of expertise as public affairs person, so can you give us a sense of what some of the hot issues are for Social Security?
Yeah, the two major points we're making these days are, and you're going to talk about, we want to talk about later, creating a My Social Security account, a Social Security account online to look at your earnings record and to do other things in terms of the available services online. And the other thing we're attempting to get the message out on is applying for benefits. That is, you can apply for retirement benefits for yourself, a spouse. You can actually apply for Medicare only, and of course, as you're familiar with, you can apply for disability completely online. And we really want to get the message out to people because we have so many people applying for benefits, and it's so much more convenient, so much easier, so much faster. You've alluded to this before, we've talked about this, that it's just a really useful and easy resource.
So Social Security is trying to push everything online as best they can.
Right, and qualify with as best you can.
Yes.
We have three main options. One, going online, which is what we suggest the first thing to do. But of course, you can always make an appointment in the office, right, or you can do it by phone. But for most people, going online is the easiest way to do it.
Okay, well, before we take a little break here, I just wondered, how do people make sure that their information is getting into the program and that it's right, that the correct information is online?
Well, we encourage all workers or anyone who have Social Security number should create a My Social Security account. So you can go online to take a look at your earning statements, and you can also take a look at the estimate benefit for disability or retirement for yourself and for your family. The way to review that is that if you see any kind of missing earnings, you can always, it's very easy. You can always just take the W-2 and bring it to the Social Security office, and we're going to make sure that you're going to get the credit.
Okay. We'll take a little break here to hear from our good advertisers, and we'll be right back and discuss a little bit more on the anniversary of 80th anniversary of Social Security.
How would you build the perfect bank? Would you put it close to your home or your work? Would you make it a high-tech wonderland with web banking and 24-hour access? Or a hometown bank with tellers who know your name? If you could build your perfect bank, it might look a lot like National Penn Bank. Convenient branch and ATM locations, innovative technologies for 24-hour access, attentive personal service, and free checking with no minimum balance or monthly account fees. It's all right here at National Penn Bank.
There are many reasons people join AAA and renew their membership year after year. In addition to the peace of mind of emergency roadside service, AAA membership includes expert travel planning, exclusive discounts, and more. AAA members also get exclusive Show Your Card and Save discounts at participating retail merchants and can save money on theme park tickets, luggage, and travel accessories at the East Penn Travel Store. Join today and start taking advantage of all AAA East Penn has to offer. And visit us on the web at www.aaa.com.
Well, welcome back to Legal Talk, brought to you by the law firm of O'Donnell, Weiss & Mattei, PC. We are honored today to have representatives of the Social Security Administration to celebrate the 80th anniversary of Social Security. And I'm going to go right back to Tran. And you were just talking before the break about the online work that people can do. And I think you and Ed both have talked about that a little bit. So you can create your own account, correct?
Yes.
And what is that called?
My Social Security account.
And if you go to the Social Security website, there actually is something that says My.
Yes.
What's it? My Social Security.
My Social Security account is on the bottom left side of the page.
Okay.
You have to answer a few security questions. Our system is secure and convenient. Sometimes, if you cannot pass those security questions, you might need help from the local representative. So we invite you to stop by and visit our office. We also, in our reception area, we have something called the self-help PC. That you just walk in, you ask, hey, can I use this machine to file for benefit or, to create the account?
So I know I was in your office recently, and I thought, oh, while I'm there, I should just check on something on my own account, and I had trouble getting in. It's probably my problem, okay? Mm-hmm. But one of your very fine representatives took me by the hand and said, "This is how you do it, David," and and got me the information I wanted for myself. So, if someone doesn't have a computer, and you do have those people,
yes,
or if they have trouble using the website,
yes, please do come into the office. We love to help you. Social Security Administration is an innovative agency where we trying our best to meet the changing needs of America. So I think we do give options. There's many options. We still have customers who still prefer face-to-face.
Yes.
But the computer, to be honest with you, is very fast and convenient. Yes, we do have representatives available to assist with the online service. Sometimes you might get the assistant from me.
Okay, good. Yeah, and again, the people in that office have generally been very helpful to me over the years and to my clients. For years I used to go in the office with my clients and help them apply.
Yes.
We no longer do that. Of course, people come into our office and they apply for basic benefits. They come in if they've been denied, they come in and for disability benefits, and we file appeals for them. Even Medicare appeals, we can do that online. So that's some of the things you can do. Ed, what are some of the other things we can do online with Social Security?
Well, if you're already on Social Security, now, as Ham mentioned, if you're not on Social Security, everyone, 18 and older, if you're paying into Social Security, you're working, you should create an account online so you can check your earnings record, because all of the formulas that we use that apply to what you would receive for retirement, if you became disabled, if you died, what your survivors would receive, that's all key to your earnings. So that's essential. So everyone, whatever their age, so we're not just talking about people close to retirement age, everyone should create an account online. But if you are already receiving Social Security benefits, assuming that you're receiving survivors or retirement or disability benefits, create an account online and you can, in fact, easily get a proof of income letter, a 1099, change of address, change of direct deposit, Medicare replacement card. All of those are available. And in fact,
Yeah, I
my
can
Social
download
Security, you can print your proof of income letter. You can save it, just as you can print and save your earnings statement if you're not on Social Security. And this is what, and you would already allude to it, that it's already the direction we're going in. You're not trying to keep people out of the office who need to come in. But in many cases, it's incredibly convenient. You create an account online, you want your 1099, you bring it up, you print it, you're done. Very, very simple, very straightforward. Again, we're assuming someone does have access to a computer and is relatively literate in the sense that they're not infirm. Many of the beneficiaries you deal with, I'm sure, some can do it without any assistance whatsoever. Others need help.
I also like to take this opportunity to thank you, your firm, for doing processing, or at least assisting us in processing many cases online, which make the our staff to process claim a little more efficient, timelier,
Yes.
A better quality product. So thank you very much.
Well, and I should also say thank you to you, to both of you, but to your office, because there are times when we have difficulties. We're something that doesn't go through right, or and we have problems, and we have the ability to call you and say, "Oh, this is where the problem is," and you have been able to clear things up for us. So I appreciate that, and I guess that actually brings me to another question. I've noticed in recent years that the website itself has changed. And things are evolving, as you said. The system is changing. What are some of the things that are happening technologically with the website? I don't know who wants to answer that, whether you or Ed.
Ed, please.
Well, your timing's perfect, because just last week the homepage of mysocialsecurity.gov. Again, we want to say www.socialsecurity.gov is where you go for all of the Social Security information.
Right.
It was just redesigned last week, and one of the reasons for it, and this is why it's always a work in progress, Social Security trying to change, respond to needs. It's easy for you to use it on a laptop, on your desktop, but also on your tablet, and now on your mobile. So on your smartphone, everything looks the same.
These are new apps that we can use.
And in fact, in addition to that, Social Security also has a Facebook page. Did you know that? Twitter account, blogging, and the reason for it is using social media. Once again, looking at all the ways in which we can connect with the people who basically fund the system and who need to get information from us.
Okay. So how secure is all this?
As far as the My Social Security account, very secure. Now, when you say that, you have to admit that when you look around at all of the issues taking place, but Social Security's, I should knock on wood, never been hacked, really very careful in terms of encryption, as good as you can get.
Right.
And the other thing is, in order to talk about that, when someone creates a My Social Security account, you can actually add a security issue so that if someone accessed your My Social Security account, if you have a smartphone, if it's text-enabled, rather, and it will let you know that somebody's using it, even yourself. So the idea of personalizing it, making it customized so you can keep track, knowing that you're the one who uses it and no one else.
Well, one of the interesting things I think our audience would be interested in this is that unfortunately, I see on the news, certain networks do more than others, that Social Security is fraught with fraud. There's so much fraud. Everyone's defrauding the system, according to certain congressmen, senators, and it's a great political football, someone to kick. Okay. First of all, is that really true? Is it really that? Is there that much fraud?
David, I don't think it's true. Social Security has no tolerance for fraud. In fact, many studies show that we have about less than 1% of fraud
That's
committed.
pretty remarkable.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we are. Would you chime in?
Well, we're assiduous in making sure that fraud doesn't take place. We have cooperative disability units. We have highlighted, in fact, with our employees. We do constant training. If you see something, what we really need also, though, are anonymous calls. The Office of the Inspector General for Social Security actually last year got something on the order of 65,000 allegations or actual occurrences of potential fraud. Now, of those, it's an incredibly small number, and we're talking only a few thousand that they actually investigated. But the point is, we really want people, if something looks odd, let us know. Tell us.
Well, explain that. You said they received 65,000 but only investigated a couple thousand. Is that out of laziness, or is that out of...
Well, they actually filter out, because in many cases people think someone might be defrauding, or they contact us and it's not really the case. But we never turn away someone who contacts us. We get a lot of anonymous calls, but someone thinks the person across the street is on disability and did such and such and such and such. You investigate and find that it's really not the case, because these are from the outside.
So
but they're
investigated.
Yes. But oh yes, yes.
Okay.
They definitely
so you're
zero
saying,
tolerance for anything other.
There are how many people on Social Security now?
Over 59 million.
Okay, 59 million, and you only received how many complaints?
Well, about 65,000. Yeah.
Well,
and those are the complaints.
That's a small percentage, and only a couple thousand really deserved more intense investigation.
Yes, about around a little over 4,000 last year. And of those, it's a much smaller number that you end up really prosecuting. Because again, what you're doing is investigating something that might be a credible complaint, but it doesn't mean that it is.
So we're not fraught with fraud. We're not.
I would not even try to say that 2 times in a row. But your point, and it's less than 1%. Now, again, any fraud's too much fraud, so
Sure.
you don't want to be glib about it. But in terms of a system that basically spends almost 900, the amount in terms of billions per year that's paid out, the number of people on, and by the way, we talked about the 59 million plus people who are on Social Security. Part of the group you deal with, supplemental security income, SSI recipients. There are another 8 million of those. So we're talking an enormous number. So relative to that, fraud's very small. Again, don't want to be glib. Zero tolerance
but
for fraud.
we hear about those cases.
Yes,
and they're bad. But
yeah, the outliers do get it, and those are bad cases.
Yeah.
They obviously are.
Yeah.
You don't want to dismiss that.
So the other big question is, if I'm a young kid, whatever, if I'm in my 20s, 30s, is Social Security going to be there for me when I get to be an older person, such as I am myself? Okay.
Well, we weren't thinking of you as an older person, but
Okay. Well,
in the context, the hypothetical, the reality is it's going to be there. And we hear this argument made all the time that it won't be there. And it isn't just millennials who say this. But the reality is, if you understand the funding of Social Security, workers, employees, and self-employed individuals and employers contribute to the system. And in fact, the most recent trustees report that just came out last week, when it talked about solvency and the issue in 2034, and you see this in the news, the real point is about 79, 80% on the dollar will be paid down the road. No one says nothing.
Without any
changes at all.
And there are some very common sense changes that could be made in the system if Congress chooses to go that direction. And
Yes.
in fact, there have been a number of studies done that show how we can keep the system very, very solvent.
Yes, and in fact, if you go on our homepage and look under our actuary, under our system, and you plug the numbers in, they actually have a range of these. If you did this, if you change this, what the percentage would be, what the shortfall. So it's on our site. Now, we do not do politics, so we don't make suggestions. We merely say these are the options.
I can be a little bit more political than you can. Okay. So I want to say thank you very much, Tran and Ed Lafferty, for being with us today and celebrating this anniversary. And thank you for being a part of this program.